Hi everyone, I thought I'd jump on real quick and show you a way to make a simple branch. And these wires here are 15 inches long, and you can see some of these are really short, but they're long enough for me, for the project that I'm working on. And I am doing these in silver and KC gold. I will put them in the description box. This is not a full tutorial. I will be working a project, I will show it to you, in an 8-inch hoop. So if you go to my playlists, you'll find the basic way that I twisted out this tree. But what I'm doing for these branches, I'm using just 4mm bicones. I'm using clear, and for the first one, I'll put on 7. I don't get too fancy with them. Just gonna line these up and slide them down, pinch them together like that, and I just cross it over and then put in like 3 or 4 twists. 1, 2, 3, 4. Doesn't have to be too long. And then on both of the next leaves or branch, I'm going to put 6 bicones instead of 7. Oops. Six. Just slide them down. And just move them down a little bit. Take the wire and just bring it right up to the twisted spot right there. And then put in a few twists to close that up. Like that. Now, with the longest wire, I'm not going to put any twists. I'm just going to bring it over. And I'm going to put 6 beads on that. Now I'm just going to do the same thing again. Slide them down. Bring the wire up. Give it a little pinch, slide them down, and close up that space by putting in your twists like that. It doesn't have to be perfect. I'm going to close that space up right there. Just going to grab onto our work, support those, and then put in some twists, say like 3 or 4, just enough to separate your branches. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to put 6 on each of these 2 wires. Now, I'm going to just repeat. Bring your wire up. And put in a few little twists like that. Also, do it on the other side. Just slide them down a little tiny bit, bring your wire up, and put in your twists. You can get as fancy as you want. You know me. I am keeping it really simple because regardless, it's going to be beautiful. And then I like to just kind of like do that. I will come back later on when I'm putting them into my tree and add some bends. But as you can see, they're all a little bit different. They all have 7 beads on the first leaf and then 6. So we have 5 on each one. Now, if you go to the playlist, I did use 20 wires on the tree that I'm working on now. And in an 8-inch hoop, I do like to use 20. And I do like to use 20 gauge aluminum wire, which I will put in the description box. It's currently unavailable, but I do have a suitable one in its place that I ordered just to be safe. So this is what it looks like with the KC gold and the aluminum. It's a thicker trunk, which I like, and it's not as full as my others. This one here, I'm keeping nice and open and airy, and I want it to look elegant and lacy, kind of like dainty, if that even makes sense. It doesn't have to be too full. Not for this one. This one here, this one I'm making a little bit different. Now, one that I did make fuller, but I did not twist the leaves outside of the hoop. I twisted them the way we would normally twist. Twisted out my branch, put my bicones on, and just went and put on a whole bunch. I also twisted in these little birds, and I do have the little girl on a swing. I didn't put the other jump ring on because I don't really love this tree. I don't know why. So I'm still thinking about it. But it was a little bit thin right here, so I put some acrylic on that just to stiffen it up and stuck it under the UV light. So I'm still not loving this tree. Tell me what you think. And that's what it looks like in the back. Nice and full. You can just, if you get a traffic jam, poke your little leaves in the back. But that's the difference between twisting them into the tree instead of outside of the tree. This one here, I'm twisting my branches in, but I'm also using the aluminum wire just to twist with. I'm using 4 at a time, and when I put a branch in after I twist, I will, on the KC Gold wire, this one here, I will make a couple of leaves just to fill it in. So really quick, I will twist one in just to show you. And I'm alternating silver with gold. I'm not really getting too fancy. But like I said, this is just tips, little tips in a tangled mess. So the way I'm doing this, the ones that are in the playlist, I did 2. I doubled them up and then separated them. I'm not doing that on this one. I thought I'd try something different. This one here, I'm just using 1, and there are 3 on each branch. I have not counted them out, but that's the way it's working so far. So I bring it all the way up, right here. Take your branch and bring it all the way up. You don't want too much of a stem right there because it'll break. So you don't want to put too many twists on the end after your last 2 leaves on your branch. So bring that up, support it nice and firmly right here, because you're going to twist this really tight. And then what I'm doing is taking the 22 gauge wire and making a leaf. No, I'll put, some of them have 6, some have 7. It's just, I'm just making it and sharing little tips. And that came at the perfect time. Ta-da! And then I just slide that up, make my leaf, and then just twist that in like that. I have extra wires, so why not? We'll make it full. And now take all of the wires on both sides and twist. Adding the branches in will thicken up your branch as you go, and that's the way I'm making this tree. Now, I have had a couple of questions about a tree that's not too tight. Now, if you look at this right now, this is kind of floppy. When you get a floppy tree, the way to fix it is make sure you pull extra tight when you get to the top. I did left and right to keep this in the center. You're going to pull. Make sure that you pull this really tight, and then when you put in your bends, your tree will no longer be floppy. Just like that, you can see already. So that's what I wanted to share with you, and I hope that you have a great day.